Resting up for another bike journey tomorrow. It's really noisy in this hotel, but it's okay. It's kind of festive. It's kind of like a way of feeling like, wow, there's something going on, like, and that I don't have to leave my room. I don't feel like leaving my room. I kind of have a little bit of a headache. I think from yesterday I had way too much sun, as you can see. My nose is quite burnt. Red honker. So, I wanted to talk about a mistake that I made on this trip, and I may have mentioned it before, but I knew that I wanted to do a lot of bicycling on this trip. Um, I wasn't very organized about how I was going to do it, and I just figured I could get some beater bike and just use that. But the problem with getting a beater bike is when you're traveling. When I'm living at home and I have a beater bike, I could just kind of like, you know, get it repaired, or put it to the side and keep it there for a little while. But if I have a beater bike here that I got for $82 and the chain breaks and then needs a new derailleur, you end up putting money into it anyways. So it would have just been better to bring my own bike with me. No, I didn't do that because I was like, oh, I don't know how to do the whole box it up thing. I think I was just being lazy and I didn't want to figure that stuff out. And I didn't want to pay all the money that you pay. Well, in some ways it kind of makes sense because, I flew around to a few different places first. So if I was like hopping to Japan and then Philippines and then Thailand and then having to pay each time, it might have gotten expensive. So, but I guess for the next time I do this, I'm going to decide on one place where I want to bring my bicycle and go there and bring a good lock. Because what's happened with the bike that I got, which I actually kind of don't regret because it's kind of a learning experience, but I've been having to actually walk around with it a lot. Like, but it's funny because in a way it's really good exercise if you're going up the hills pushing a bicycle. And it's also kind of like a way to kind of just, I don't know, get yourself out there and doing it. And I did get to do some biking when it was repaired, but each time I've gone out, something's happened to my bike. So the first day I got the bike, I had a good ride on it, but it was doing the clink clank whenever you shift the gears, or even the chain fell off a few times. And then finally, when I was going up the hill at Patong Heights, the chain broke. So that might have been the day after I got it. But anyway, I did get some good riding in and the chain broke. And so I brought it into my buddy's Phuket bike shop. His name's Meow, and he's like the coolest dude in the universe. And he's got a little shop there that he's had for a while. But it was pretty far away from where I was staying. I mean, it was a good like 11, 12 miles. And when I was staying in Kamala, the second time I had to go there, it was more like even longer, maybe 15, 16 miles. So, or I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was pretty far to be like pushing it around. But the first thing that happened with the chain, I basically just decided I'm just going to push the bike to this shop because there's not a lot of shops in Phuket, and I already know that guy. So, or no, I didn't know him yet. I talked to him on the phone and he seemed really cool and he had really good reviews. So I took my bike there, and then I had a break from my bike for a few days because he had it in his shop for a few days, and then it was the weekend. He was closed on Sunday. So I didn't get it back till Monday. So I got it back on Monday, and I rode it pretty far and was really enjoying myself, actually. I rode it, oh, okay, so that's right. My friend Ben gave me a ride on his motorbike. otherwise known as Snack, gave me a ride on the motorbike, and then to pick it up, I rode it back. Well, I didn't ride it directly back. I actually took a roundabout way around the island over to Karen Beach, um, and a few times like the chain kept breaking off and stuff, and I had to put it back on, and I sort of felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I had to be careful with, like, the bike feels fragile. It feels like it could break again. So anyway, so I don't feel like I could easily change the gears without the chain kind of messing up every once in a while. But, I had a good ride to Karen Beach, and then from Karen Beach to Patong. And then Ben caught up with me. We were riding back. When we got to when we got back near Kamala, he wanted to go to this area where there's these mountainous kind of regions, and it was like really like a lot of steep climbing, and I was pushing really hard, and then I broke one of my pedals. So, oh God, I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to ride the bike to the guy and get some pedals. So I did that the next day, 2 days ago, I think. So I rode the bike all the way from Kamala to Phuket Bike Shop with one pedal, basically. And my friend was like, I can give you a ride. But I wanted to ride that bike so bad that I was like, no, I don't care if the pedal's broken. I'm going to ride it. I just want to ride this damn thing. I want to get some of the money worth on it. Anyway, I know it sounds crazy, but... So I had an enjoyable ride to the Phuket Bike Shop, and then I bought a set of pedals, because the other pedal was in pretty bad shape too, and plus it comes with two pedals, and so he replaced the pedals for me, and he threw in a bike helmet for me. And he's just like the kindest person, because he's like, no, and I tried to give him some extra money for it. He's like, no, I don't, this helmet's just been laying around, So, because I had this like really cheesy like helmet. I think it was more of a motorbike helmet that the guy that sold me the bike gave me. And I think it was actually like a girl's helmet, but I just I'm trying to be safe, so I wore it. But I actually chucked that helmet, it was in pretty bad shape, actually. So I got this new helmet, and then I'm all excited because, okay, I'm going to do I'm planning like a long trip. I was either going to go like toward Krabi and towards even Hat Yai, thinking about like jamming over toward Malaysia, just going like 30, 40 miles a day. That was my plan. And originally I was thinking about going to Bangkok, which is like 800 something. I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know if it's kilometers or miles, but it's it's a good distance. So, but anyway, yesterday, I had bungeed like. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to get to. I have too much stuff now. Like, I brought my guitar because, it's just a small travel guitar, and I figured I could get rid of it if I need to. But I'm also kind of attached to it because my friend Logan gave it to me, and so I kind of don't want to just get rid of it, but it's also become kind of a pain in the butt, literally. So I had that and a bag bungeed to the rack in the back, and then I had my backpack. So that's another lesson is travel lightly, because the lighter you travel, the easier it is. I'm gonna have to downsize and get rid of some stuff. So anyway, I was riding my bike. I was all stoked. I was like, yes, I'm going for it. I stopped and had some coconuts, and I'm just like living my best life and all that, And then I wanted to check my directions around Bang Tao when I was near Bang Tao. So that was probably about, 5 miles, 6 miles maybe. away, and there was something that was going on with the seat, where the seat was coming out, and it was attached to the rack that had all the stuff, so it was hard to like. I was trying to put it back in, it'd come out right, and then the tire went poof. It just popped, like it was like made a sound, like a loud noise. So, I don't have, and also I don't think it's just like the tube. I think it might be the whole tire. I mean, it looked pretty banged up. I think that maybe I had too much stuff on the rack and it was wearing it down. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'm just kind of like fucking jumping into this shit, and sometimes I wish I had someone more qualified that would, But anyway, so I was pretty bummed because I'm like, oh fuck, I guess I'll have to go back to Kamala, and then like tomorrow I think I'm going to. I took today off. I was just like a little bit like just over it. I was almost thinking about chucking the bike at this point. But I think like if I get the tires fixed, I think it should be good. I think it should be good now, I think it should be good. Who knows what could go wrong next? Maybe something could go wrong. But I'm going to try it. Third time is the charm. So I'm going to bring it to my guy in Phuket and hope that he can fix it. I mean, it might need a whole new wheel. I don't know. It might be like pretty destroyed. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I guess the moral of the story is, well, part of the thing is I think I got a lot of beater bikes in my youth because I had some of them ripped off from me. So I sort of was like, oh, I don't want to buy an expensive bike because it could get ripped off. So, because, where I grew up, it was kind of like stuff got ripped off a lot. So I think that's like sort of a bad mentality to have, though. You should just get a good bike, get a good lock, and just be careful not to lose it, But I guess I'm just sort of like explaining my illness around that, So, the other good thing is just to buy a good bike here and bring it back with me, which I could have done. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to spend that much money. And also, like, I don't have a great expertise in knowing what's like, like you see these Bianchi bikes and stuff, but I don't know if they're like knockoffs or, like I don't know if they're what's real and what isn't, what is like good quality. So I think that this one I got was not very good quality. And my friend was kind of going, oh yeah, it's got these cool panniers in it, and that's worth. But I think if I could go back, I wouldn't have bought this bike. But I am learning a lot from this lesson, so it's kind of like, I can't blame anyone but myself for it because I just wanted a bike so bad, and there wasn't a lot of bike shops in the area, In Patong, there was like one tiny bike shop, and the guy had seemed to me like some bikes that were a little out of my range. So, and I think he didn't. When I took my bike there, he didn't want to work on it. He was like, I'm not going to work on that bike. So, thank God for Phuket Bicycle Shop with Meow is his name. Meow like cat. So, anyway, so wish me luck for tomorrow that I'm going to get this tire going on it and that it's going to run smoothly. And if it doesn't run smoothly, I don't know. I need to just get rid of it, I guess, or maybe give it to somebody, and, but we'll see. Hopefully, I won't have to keep pushing it back and forth. So, but pushing a bike up a mountain, it's good exercise. It's a good way to see things. So it's fine. It's not really like the most like professional cyclist way of doing things, but